For that average Kenyan watching and keen to find out, what is the blue economy in the first place?
Right. Thank you again. Blue economy basically means the economy around waters, basically the oceans and the waters in the lakes, and also what we call the inland waterways, the rivers, etc. The economy surrounding those body masses, that's basically the blue economy.
All right.
Yeah.
Very simply put. Yeah. Now, one of the challenges facing Kenya right now is there's stiff competition from other countries like Tanzania and South Africa, where they're also trying to eat into the cake when it comes to the vessels that dock in Kenya. They're trying to have a slice of that market.
Right.
So in this particular conference, one major theme is sustainable growth of the blue economy. And how are we doing as a country?
Okay. I think in terms of the port services and also in terms of the transportation business in the marine sector, I would say that Kenya has done very well. You know, the Port of Mombasa, last year we handled over 30 million tons. In terms of the boxes, what we call the CUs, we handled about 1.2 million. And in the next 5 years, we're targeting to do over 1.6 million. Therefore, as a port, we believe we've done very well. We've seen a growth of 8% over the last 8 years, which compared to the global 3.8%, which is very good. And therefore, I think our expansion program, modernization, and the sort of the green policy that we've adopted at the port has contributed to not only the sustainability, but also the growth of the port, and we're able to really stay ahead of the competition.
Martin, one of the, irrespective of what has been discussed here, when it comes to implementation, there's talk of better trade policies. There's talk of improving investments in ports by the second container terminal, phase 2. There's also talk of the systems, the ICT systems, that is the customs systems. And from where you sit, if you're to give an audit of how this sector has performed, especially when it comes to investments in facilities, at the same time handling challenges facing bottlenecks when it comes to the issues around the systems in place.
Again, I can tell you over the last 10 years, we've done pretty well. Now, the best measure of port performance in terms of the customer appreciation is what we call the cargo dwell time. That is the time it takes once the cargo lands at the port and the time it takes for it to be evacuated. In the year 2011, for example, it used to take around 12 days to evacuate, that cargo dwell time. As we talk, the period has come down to around 3 days, which actually is comparable to the best in the world. Now, in terms of modernization program, the government has invested heavily. The Ports Authority, we've had a 1 billion project, that is the Mombasa Port Development Program, and that is what you mentioned, phase 2. We intend to do 3 phases, eventually bring in a new capacity of 1.5 million, what we call the TU, that is 20 equivalent boxes, 20-foot equivalent. And we've also really invested heavily in terms of the automation and the security system. For you to enter the port, you have to use a biometric system. And together with that, we've also done a bit of staff, not only rationalization, but also capacity building and to enhance that efficiency. Therefore, clearly, if we are to audit, of course I can't audit myself, but I would say clearly that we've done very well over the period. And we've seen a lot of improvement in terms of the efficiency, the ship turnaround time. Yes, we've done fairly well.
All right. Of course, this is debatable with the customers on the other end. And finally, Martin, as we wrap up, looking at the bigger picture, where do you see the blue economy in terms of growing it? What are the opportunities for Kenyans to tap into, be it an area of transportation in shipment, be it in the areas of fuel, be it in the areas of marine? Where are we on this?
Again, the blue economy is huge. And I think I must really appreciate exactly the President's focus on the blue economy. As you might be aware, in November, we are hosting the first global sustainable blue economy. And actually, what we're having today and tomorrow and the day after, we want to see it as a launching pad to really building the knowledge that can be used in terms of the execution of that bigger conference. But in terms of the benefits that can accrue from the blue economy, they're enormous. We are talking of the economies around the rivers, economies around the lake that have not really been fully exploited, economies around the oceans, the fishing, the cruise and the tourism, it's enormous.
All right.
And I think for Mwananchi, it's basically what you can drive out of the mass of water that's around the land. And the opportunity is actually limitless. They are huge and we've not really exploited.
If you had to estimate, how much is the blue economy worth right now in the country?
I don't have the figures on the top of my head, but it runs into almost a trillion. Right. It's huge, yes.
Indeed.
Right.
Many thanks there, Martin Mutiku.
Thank you.
We really appreciate your insights. And we'll definitely look forward to seeing the blue economy being realized in a bigger way.
It will, sure. Thank you.
All right. Well, we've been speaking there to Martin Mutiku, who is from the Kenya Ports Authority, and just giving us some great insights around the blue economy. And of course, we shall definitely be getting more of this analysis when it comes to the blue economy. Well, for now, I want to go for a quick commercial break. Remember, our Twitter poll question today, we're asking you, what are some of the areas that Kenya can expand to actually grow maritime trade? That is our Twitter poll question. You can tweet us at KTN News. You can also tweet me at Agina Abi, and as well as my colleague Malika Kazia. Remember, the hashtag is KTN Business. After the break, we shall, actually before the break, we shall be definitely having more info coming up. You don't want to go far.